Good morning, Wall Street winners. It's Thursday, July 25th, and this is a mid-morning update today, taking a look at where we are in the markets. If we go to the Bloomberg app and take a look at markets and over to our Americas here, what we'll see is we are up 0.5% on the Dow Jones, but the S&P 500 is off 0.6%, and the NASDAQ is down at this time as well, almost 0.25%. So it's a bit of a mixed bag in the markets today. Tech is falling. The banks are doing well. If we take a look at the finance app, we made a good call yesterday on, let's scroll right to the bottom here and take a look at our finance sector. So finance is up. Things are looking strong. Schwab is making a comeback. TD is up slightly. Zion is up a little bit. We've got the big boys, Goldman, Morgan Stanley, and JP Morgan all in the green, but off their highs, certainly for the last month or so, but making a comeback. The call of the day was Raymond James. So RJF. RJF announced earnings after market close yesterday. It closed down. If we take a look at the 5-day, we were down around the 112 range. I made a purchase end of day there and just sold about 20 minutes ago up in the 116 range. So that was a positive little trade. They came out with earnings that met expectations, maybe beat in a little area. Positive overall, and it got a bit of a bump, which is now looking like it's come back off its high, but it's still certainly up for the day. I think RJF, assuming that banks in general, which I do believe they will, continue to move in a forward trajectory, and we may get a positive news announcement from the Fed in the next couple of weeks that indicates they're looking at a rate cut. And if we do, these things I think are going to definitely move in an upward direction. We are seeing SoFi down in the 715, 716 range, and it's been swinging down as low as 694 pre-market. I would definitely look at picking this up if it dropped under $7. Even in the 715 range, although based on the window today, I think you could get this 708 or better. I would put in an order and pick some of that up, knowing that they are going to announce shortly. It says TBC in here, but I believe it's in the next week or two. I don't have the exact date in front of me. Then as we scroll up into tech is getting beaten down, but tech is going to come back. We're just waiting on earnings for a lot of the big names, and those will be out next week. So as long as those earnings are beating expectations, we should see a bit of a tech rebound, and this could be just an amazing buying opportunity for some of these great tech names. I mean, Google came out and had a great quarter, and it is off significantly. I do think it could come back down around the 170 mark or in the 170s, but it does look like it's potentially going to recover up to 175 based on where it's going right now. So you could follow that momentum trade and get in on that and exit if it starts to turn the other way. And then we've got Meta. Meta is off as well, down at 454, basically, just under 454. I think it's a steal of a deal with earnings coming out next week. Amazon is in the high 170s. It hit up into the 186s on last earnings. I don't expect we're going to have a poor earnings report here. I expect it to be quite positive. Google's cloud was positive, so Amazon and Microsoft's cloud should be positive as well, with Amazon being the cloud market leader. And then as we scroll up further, one that got hit hard today was ARM. This is definitely an overvalued stock, so you want to be careful on this, but it has a tremendous amount of volatility. So if you are looking to play the volatility game, this is the stock for you. Microsoft is down. I do anticipate earnings will be in line with expectations on Microsoft next week, so picking it up in the 420s certainly could be a boost going into earnings next week. We've got Net up a little bit, Palo Alto down slightly, CRM making a bit of a comeback here. I mean, it's been hit hard earlier in the year with earnings, but it is starting to climb back, so we'll have to wait and see towards the end of earnings season what they come out with, but if it's positive, that should continue up towards the 300s. CrowdStrike made a bit of a recovery yesterday. It looks like it's fallen again today. And then your other tech semis, Micron taking a hit again today, but it looks like it could be bouncing back a little bit. What is odd to me today is crude has been off almost $1. It's now only 40 cents, and it's climbing back towards the green. But all of the oil stocks have been in the green. Valero reported yesterday, earnings missed, sorry, that's not correct. They report after market today. They didn't report yesterday. It is expected that their profits will fall based on some of the commentary here. They come out after hours today, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I'm bullish on Valero. I think there's a lot of prospects. The narrative in the oil market these days, or with oil stocks, is that with the slowdown in China and the rebound really not starting yet in China with the Chinese consumer and industry, that there's a drag on oil consumption. They're just not consuming as much. And the interesting thing about that is whether they're consuming or not, they're buying it from Russia. So it's really immaterial, in my opinion, to the overall U.S. oil market. I do understand that it has a bearing on price, but with all the sanctions in place, you're going to get third world countries that produce oil selling to Russia to get rid of the product that they have and bring funds into their countries. It's extremely hard to stop that, even with all the sanctions and tariffs in place. But oil, I think, is set to rebound going into the fall. The one that's puzzling me today in transport is J.B. Hunt. J.B. Hunt had a horrific quarter, was down into the, I think, low 160s last week. If we take a look at the 5-day, we can see where it was. Yeah, down in the 159, 160s. It's now climbing 7% today. So I don't know what the news is there, but I think that is going to fall back down. I would short that or buy a put on that and take the profits when that thing dips. And then we've got some of the healthcare stocks. So HCA had good results. It's climbing again today. Nice $11 move. We've got Humana out next week, looking for a positive move on that in line with HCA's positive announcement. And I believe we should see this climb up to the 415, 425 range in the next 6 or 7 days once earnings come out on that. That's where we are today. Hope you're liking these videos. If you are, please leave me a like and a comment, subscribe to the channel, and